In Luke chapter 19, it says Jesus entered Jericho and made his way through the town. There was a man there named Zacchaeus. He was the chief tax collector in the region, and he had become very rich. He tried to get a look at Jesus, but he was too short to see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree beside the road, for Jesus was going to pass that way. When Jesus came by, he looked up at Zacchaeus and called him by name. Zacchaeus, he said, come down quick. I must be a guest in your home today. Zacchaeus quickly climbed down and took Jesus to his house in great excitement and joy. But the people were displeased. He has gone to be the guest of a notorious sinner, they grumbled. Meanwhile, Zacchaeus stood before the Lord and said, I will give half my wealth to the poor, and if I have cheated people on their taxes, I will give them back 4 times as much. Jesus responded, salvation has come to this home today, for this man has shown himself to be a true son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and save those who are lost. As I read that this time around, I read it differently. Think about the tax collectors were supposed to be bad people. They cheated people. They robbed people of their monies. They overcharged that, and that's how they became rich. It said he was the chief tax collector in his region, which means he was getting them people. He was taking all their stuff. But it was something inside of him. Even though his profession was what it was, there was something inside of him that when he heard Jesus was coming, he was determined to see him. He was determined. He was a short man, but he was determined. All the tall people standing in front of him, he knows Jesus is passing by. He was determined, so determined that he climbed a tree so that he could see Jesus. This sinner, this evil person, climbed a tree just so he can see Jesus. While he's in the tree, Jesus calls him by name, told him to come down, and said, I'm going to your house so we can eat. When they get to the house, Zacchaeus is like, listen, I'm willing to do all of this. All the money that I have, I'll give half of it away. And he was sorrowful. He was willing to change, and Jesus blessed him. But in that story also it says that the people were disgusted by Jesus because he was dealing with a sinner. He was willing to go to the house of a sinner. I lived a life full of sin. And if you watched me while I was living, if you were like those other people talking about Jesus going to the sinner's house, you would have committed me to hell. You would have said I was going to hell, that there was no hope for me, and that I was going to hell. Jesus knew my heart. Jesus, when people say God knows my heart, he really, really does. He knows if your heart is evil, and he knows if your heart isn't. He knows that you're willing to live a life for him, even though you don't know how yet. He knows these things. He knew Zacchaeus was going to be in a tree before Zacchaeus got in the tree. He knew his heart way before he met him. God knew my heart. Even though I lived the life that I lived, very, very sinful, my desire was to please him. Though nobody else could look at my desire, they saw my actions. God knew. Therefore, he was able to change me. Didn't matter what the people say. It still don't matter what the people say. Some people may not believe my walk with Christ today. Don't matter to me neither, because my audience is God. And as long as I'm pleasing him, then I'm doing the right thing. People are always going to talk. God knows. And if you are sincere in your heart about living a life for him, Even though right now people can't see that, continue to talk to God. Continue to ask Him to help you. You cannot do it by yourself. That's why you keep failing. Continue to talk to God. He answers. He's the only one that changes the hearts of men. He changed mine. He changed mine so that I no longer live the way that I used to. I haven't made it. You know what I'm saying? I'm still striving for perfection. But I'm not who I used to be, and it's because God changed me. Don't let what the people say about you be true. Your heart, continue to cry out to the Lord. He'll answer. Even though it doesn't seem like it, or even though you feel like you're the worst person in the world, why would God listen to me? He will listen to you because He loves you. He created you because He loves you. He hasn't given up on you. Don't give up on Him. Zacchaeus climbed a tree so that he could see God. He just wanted to see God. And as Jesus walked by, He looked up at Zacchaeus and called him down. It don't say it called other people. It don't say that He called the pastor. It don't say He called the good people who we think are good. It said He called Zacchaeus, the chief tax collector in his region, and said, come on down here. Let's go to your house and get something to eat. I want to spend time with you. Keep crying out to God. Ask Him to help you to change. He will. Listen, don't praise me. Praise God who gave it to me to share. I love you.